how's life out there in New York City, my man?
Sucks.
Is it bad? I heard it's better than L.A. though. All my
LA
buddies
is
like
bad too. When
Schultz.
I was out in LA, that was worse actually when I was there. But that was before they canceled indoor dining.
Yeah, I guess I'm just surprised to hear that. Which leads us to you launching this whole kind of fundraiser to help out these small businesses. How'd this idea come about? We did a little background on it, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, so I was ranting and raving, which I tend to do, and it was actually I was at the pool in Miami. It was when indoor dining got shut down in New York, and I went out and made like an Instagram video, basically just saying I don't understand what they expect these small businesses, specifically restaurants, bars, to do because they're already on their last legs, and now you're not letting them do indoor dining. It's the middle of winter in New York, so what's going to happen? You got to do one thing: you let them open up and serve, or you got to give them a lot of money from the government, or else they're just going to go out of business. So that was the gist of the rant. And then I got challenged. Basically, it's like, hey, this guy, Marcus Lemonis, was like, hey, big mouth, put your money where your mouth is if you're going to talk about it. So that's what we did. So I donated 500 grand to what we call the Barstool Fund. And we said, hey, if you're a small business owner and you need help, contact us. And then we basically solicited donations from our readers. I Twitter shamed some of my friends who are wealthy. And we've raised about 18 million, 18.5 in about, I don't know, 12 days or something.
And
And
how
we're
do
getting
you
all these submissions and we record the videos
Yeah.
of us telling them, and it's kind of taking on a life of its own.
And how do you vet the small businesses that get it? Because I'm sure there's some shysters out there.
Yeah. So here's the process. We get emails and there's two requirements. One, you got to prove you're running a successful business before the pandemic, and then we assume you can go back to it after. And your payroll has to be on, still paying employees. So those are the two things we look for. And then we get emails with the stories, videos. We have a team led by this woman, Liz Gonzalez, who goes through it. It escalates up to me. We talk to the people. Would I be shocked in the span of doing that? I think we've done 75 businesses or something so far, that one or two slip through. It could happen, but I mean, our finance team follows up, asks for all the paperwork, tax, rent, everything like that. But there's no charity in the history of charities, I don't think, that hasn't been, stolen from or whatever.
Agree. I'll take those odds.
Does it surprise you that the media is not covering this? Because this is probably the most successful effort to help small businesses during the whole pandemic. And it just seems like the media should be reporting on this all the time. And it doesn't seem like that's the case. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they seem to not give a fuck. Is that, or is there more of them caring than I've seen? I've seen like Fox. You went on Fox, but I feel like this does is help small business owners. So this is the people that these people pretend or should care about. I feel like they should report on this all the time.
Yeah, so Fox has covered it and covered it a decent amount. And then the local affiliates of ABC or Fox, like if small business is in, Arkansas, the local station will do it. The national, besides Fox, there's been very little. And it's stupid. Like I did tweet something out. CNN had a tweet that Beyonce had donated, I think it was 500 grants at, was it
$105,000 grants.
So it came out to $500,000 basically, which is great. And everything should get publicity. They haven't mentioned it once. And to me, sometimes I think, rightly or wrongly, people think I'm political. I always say I don't really think I am. I hate the far left. I hate the far right. But in this case, it doesn't, we're helping all sorts of business. I don't know what their politics. It just, the more publicity we get, the louder we can bang the drum, the more donations come in, the more people we can help. And we're never going to have enough money to help all the businesses. We're getting 10,000 emails. So to me, yes, if you care about small business at all, you should publicize it. It can only help.
Do you believe in the conspiracy that they're trying to get rid of those small businesses? That's the government's agenda.
A lot of people say that, and maybe I'm naive, but I can't believe that is such a preposterous thing that I don't believe the vaccine is putting chips in people. I can't get my head there to think there's somebody who would want to put out a business that has been passed down generations for like 50 years. Like that person, if that's true, you should be executed.
I think it makes more sense that they're just idiots and they're enforcing this shutdown in a very sloppy and uneven way, and it's hurting a lot of people.
Correct.
I think there's no grand design. I don't think there's a grand conspiracy or a plan. I think these people, they're just idiots and they're out of touch. I don't think they have any clue how affected people really are.
Yeah. Are like egotistical, selfish, self-absorbed people in general.
Right.
And like there's so many side agendas and so much self-interest, and that's the problem. And that's why something like we get the money, we get it in. That's all we care about. So politics sucks. I mean, I don't think that's a news flash. And all they care about is themselves staying in power, and that's it.
Yep. Whose mayor you think is worse? Ours here with Newsom, or you think that LA guy the New York guy sucks?
You know, they've both done things that I don't know how they can look themselves in the mirror to a degree. Like when Newsom's like, you can't go out, and he goes to French Laundry. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And that's not, again, political. That's like, what an asshole.
Right.
Cuomo is writing books about how fucking terrifically he handled this pandemic in the middle of the pandemic when the city's locked down. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he just won an Emmy. He won an Emmy.
He won an Emmy for killing old people.
Like, how about refuse the Emmy?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, and by the way, we're a small company and we've pivoted to doing this. But if you have the money, don't have the money for small business, like the government could set up a charity and get a ton of, not charity, but like a foundation, people donate, put a ton of people going through it effectively to find out who's eligible. Like, how do you not think of that?
Right.
I don't think people would trust the government if they said they were going to do that. I think that's why yours is so successful, because people know where that money's going to go.
And I think people trust you guys will do a lot better of a job finding actually worthy businesses.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot out there, and it's so the first time we did it, the first company, one of them, basically, the person Liz who goes through the email, she's like, this person singled out that they really like Barstool and they're a fan of yours. It'd be really cool if you just called and delivered the news. So I did, and I FaceTimed, and they broke down. And I wasn't recording it, but it was pretty obvious, like, okay, I got to record this, because it was like very visceral, the reaction.
Yeah.
And that's what is moving the donations. These videos is pretty, I'm not the most like sensitive guy, but if you watch the videos, it's hard not to be like, okay, I want to donate to this, because you can see the weight being like lifted. They're breaking down. So it is.
Have you decided to help any larger businesses like Chipotle or Starbucks or any Chase Manhattan? I mean, they need help too. I mean, everybody's suffering, right? Ruth Chris,
Nike.
Yeah. No, none of those have received help yet.
I was in Florida last week on tour. You were in Miami last week. I don't know how bad it is in New York, but it was weird seeing how Florida, there's just a different breed, man. Like they were eating in restaurants. They were, I was getting yelled at because I had a mask on. It was strange.
So I've been in Miami for every like big event recently, like Super Bowl, Art Basel, you name it. I've been there. It was never busier than it was this week.
Agree.
I mean, it was because everyone's leaving everywhere else. So it's like, get me out of New York, get me out of LA. There's people from all over there. I mean, it was madness.
Do you think something happens after this pandemic where New York and LA aren't the center of the universes anymore? And do you see other cities in the country kind of becoming more interesting? And especially if they raise taxes, you think, there's more of an entrepreneurial culture. It might be in a place like Texas, Austin or Nashville or Florida.
Yes. Yeah. Like I do. And I don't know if that's the goal to a degree.
Yeah.
Insane, but I think there's a real chance that Miami and the mayor there certainly realizes it and is wildly aggressive trying to get companies to go there. Yep. You hear everyone going to Austin, Nashville. Yeah,
Dave,
at some level, it's like it seems like a New York or an LA doesn't want business.
Right.
Yeah, it's very strange, and they don't care when people leave. When these huge businesses leave, they don't give a fuck.
They're complacent. They've been too big for too long, and I don't think they. It's like, somebody that's been making money for so long, they forgot like the ingredients that made them successful. Yeah.
Dave, have you thought about leaving New York at all? Because in LA, it's a shitstorm. Like all our friends left. Me and Tim are the only ones left.
Yeah, we're it. That's it.
Yeah, no, so I'm going back to Miami today, and I'm debating getting a place there.
But would you move the whole Barstool operation down there? Save taxes?
Would, but if enough people here are like, yeah, we're behind it. Me personally, I do it in 2 seconds, but I'm not gonna make like everybody relocate out there. But if people are like, yeah, I'm down for it. I mean, the tax difference. I have people every single day now that I've become a little more successful with Barstool who are like, you're an idiot. Like the tax, you're getting murdered in taxes for what? It's like it's so much cheaper in Florida, and the weather, and the girls, and everything else.
Fair point.
Yeah, it's just better. Well, great. That's a great fucking thing you're doing, and I wish that. What can people do if they want to give you money?
So everything is at barstoolfund.com. That's both. If you're a struggling business, you can submit an application. We look for a video, tell your story, and there's a form. Give us all the info. And if you want to donate, it's there as well. And the thing that I just keep stressing, we've raised a lot, relatively speaking, but it's really a little for the need. Right. So every dollar matters. And the beauty, I think, of what we're doing and why we're doing it, we get the money and we get it out. Like within 72 hours of us contacting the business, the money is in their account.
That's cool.
And we're not going away after 1 month. We're there till the pandemic's done, because what's the point of giving somebody money and then 3 months later they're in the same spot? Right. So it is a good cause. We're doing the best we can. And we're helping a lot of people.
You're doing the Lord's work. Well, we're going to, I don't know if this even helps at all. We're going to donate $5,000 from King of the Sting to the donation.
Of course it helps. Everything helps. Yeah. I appreciate it.
And I'm going to apply for the 1,000 that you donated. So I hope that evens out. And we'll see what happens.
Struggling podcast needs money.
Yes.
Have there, have any celebrities kind of, have any celebrities jumped on board and got behind this movement?
Yeah, Dana White did $100,000. It took him 1 second. We called him out because I know him. He's like, yeah, I think I could have named $1 million and he would have done it. He did it so fast. Tom Brady did it. Edelman did it. Kid Rock, unsolicited, called me out of the blue, donated $100,000. I was on the phone with Sylvester Stallone yesterday. So a lot are coming forward. I want Elon Musk.
Well, I bet Elon would do it, right?
Yeah, I bet Elon will do it.
He's got infinity money, and it's right up his alley.
He just sold all his cribs in Beverly Hills. He had like 3 of them all next door. He sold all of them. Now he's in Texas.
Yeah, he'll do it.
I tweeted at him, but I don't know him personally.
Right.
I don't need. Do you know Elon?
I don't know Elon at all. I mean, I know of him.
Do you know anyone who's like?
I've met him. I met him briefly.
I met him briefly. The closest thing to him that we know.
I was just about to say, you know, Rogan has.
Feel free to get him. Everyone's hitting me up. It seems like right up his alley. Feel free to have him give it a shout out. Seems like something he'd be behind too.
Yeah, of course.
That's a good point.
Yeah. We'll try.
Yeah, I'll try. Elon, I can't make any promises, but I'll text Rogan for you. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good enough.
Yeah.
How have you been able to do your pizza previews show?
Oh yeah, that never ends. Those are daily, still going.
You've had no problem finding spots and shit?
No, because you can still get the pizza there now.
I'm jealous of that, man, because I do a food show, but it's not just me. I have to have guests on because of COVID. It's been a nightmare.
Have you buried the hatchet with Bryce Hall? I know that you guys were in a.
He's the softest human of all time.
He's a TikTok.
I've never seen a guy with thinner skin in my life.
Yeah, he's got a hot. You had a great point. You got a hot girlfriend. You got all the money. You just enjoy life, right? Yeah.
A girl said he looked like Sid from Ice Age. He's acting like we called him Hitler. It makes no sense.
Yeah. It's young kids, but it's fun. That's a funny podcast he does. He does a podcast with like a young kid.
Dave does?
Yeah, he does. With a younger guy.
TikToker.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah.
The TikTok world's weird, right?
It's a strange world.
Both you boys got into it.
It's a very interesting world there.
They're megastars.
They're like massive.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a movement.
And how long does it last, Dave? Another 11 months?
I don't know. I mean, I think the big ones are here to stay. Like
they might be.
Ray, the DeMellos.
Yeah.
Josh. But
the Vine stars beg to differ. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but even if you look like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they're Viners.
They
fair
figured
point.
it out. I think that kid Josh is really smart, and I
Yes.
think people like him will figure out a way to stick around.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Dave, are you into like the Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather stuff and the Jake Paul fights?
I am. All right. So I thought Jake Paul would lose to Nate Robinson because I was of the impression, I don't care what Jake is. Like, Nate's a professional basketball player. his athletic skill will overwhelm him.
You want a dunk
The
contest?
knockout, the way he did it, it's like, whoa, what just happened? And Logan is so much bigger than Floyd, and Floyd is old. Now, I don't know the actual format of how it's going to be, like exhibition, but I'm curious, and I'm curious to see. I thought Jake would fight Dylan Dennis next. That's obviously a much different can of worms, but I would have been interested. I wasn't interested in the first fight. I'll be interested in both their next fights.
Me too.
Yeah.
100%. Before we get you out of there, Dave, who do you have win the Super Bowl? I know you're a big sports guy.
Bills.
The Bills.
Yeah, Josh Allen's fucking awesome.
Stud.
Buffalo could use that.
Buffalo could use all the help they can get.
Yeah, that will be their bailout if the
Yes.
Bills win.
That's
Yeah.
all they care about. Hey,
Yeah.
didn't I hear in Buffalo, because, the Bill Mafia, listen, I had a cappuccino with the Buffalo Bills. I was on the team for 8 days, so I can talk like this.
Okay.
I had to try out with them. Anyway, the Buffalo Bills, the Bills Mafia, didn't they threaten, like, the governor, Cuomo? Like, we have to see the game. Like,
So
get
I
the
think
fuck out
they're
of here.
allowing in like 6,500 people or something like that.
And I'm sure the tickets are going to be insane.
I don't even know. I assume they're season ticket holders. I have no idea how that works, but yes.
I heard they are requiring a COVID test, and
What?
they got an official COVID test partner, and you have to pay $60 to this specific COVID testing place, even though there's free ones in New York. So it's kind of a
there'll
bad
be no
look.
fraud with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero fraud, dude. If I had to get a COVID test for every single restaurant, movie theater,
Yeah.
sports shit, I would get a test every single place they asked me to get.
Yeah, just to go.
That's the
Just-
world we live in.
Well, great job, Dave. Thanks for doing all this for people. Hope maybe one day the government will follow in your footsteps.
Hopefully that's the only way they're going to solve it, or just open it. One or the other.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll run into you in Miami when you move operations there, my man.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
All right,
Thanks.
brother.
See ya.
King in the stand.